I'm going to read my disclaimer.
Okay.
Because the thing is, dude, it's me. We're talking about facts from 1993. Of course, I'm going to get something kind of wrong.
Let's hear the disclaimer.
Okay, here's my disclaimer, guys. Are you ready? Everything I'm about to say is based on my own personal experiences and opinion. In some cases, on legend. I might get some things wrong, and such is life. If I say something is the best, that means it's the best for me, not necessarily the best for you, because we are all individuals with more synapses in our brain than there are stars in the galaxy. Yep. We are all incredibly unique and all incredibly individuals, which is one of the reasons I have to create so many ridiculous products and I have so much fun doing it. Yep. But yeah, the podcast, I probably got some things wrong, and such is life.
It's the way it goes, you know? Nobody's perfect. Can't get everything right. That's the way it goes. But I like that disclaimer.
Yeah, so in Gainesville, Florida, because I don't get one little fact wrong. I have some giant person suing me being like, you lied, you're a liar, aren't you? I'm like, no.
That's the way it goes in business, man.
Yeah, I know.
Tough.
So that's why I got to be careful nowadays. It was more fun before we got like this. It really was. But this is still a lot of fun. So in Gainesville...
sorry to interrupt. Do you think legalization brought on a lot of this, like, kind of legal,
Yeah, it's legalization, but it isn't just legalization. It's across the board. I see it in other industries. I've met many different people over like this great lifetime, and I meet people that have been very successful in things like even shoes, right? Mm-hmm. And then they'll tell me the same story. If they build it from the ground up, from nothing, build up a successful shoe brand, well, of course, yes, large companies then try to buy them. When they say no, those companies sue them. Those companies make products that happen to look a lot like their product. Those companies sue them, doing everything they can to crush them and hold them down.
Drown them in litigation.
Right, drown them in litigation. If you and I ran a multi-billion-dollar shoe company, and then him, with his king's hat on over there, launches a shoe that is so innovative that it's taking us out, and we'd have to change our processes and our manufacturing and all this stuff. And now you and I are different than the way we are now. In fact, we don't even wear sneakers anymore, dude. We think we're so hoity that we don't even wear that stuff. We wear fancy, some other kind of shoe, so we don't even love our own product. But you know what we do love? Making money on the golf course. You know what I mean?
That's boring.
Right. So now you and I are these CEO types with the suit and, I don't know, like I picture like Elmer Fudd. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I got a mansion on a yacht. All right. So that's us. Now he's innovative with this really cool shoe. What do we think? Do we think, wow, that should inspire us to make a better shoe? We should make better shoes. No. What do we think? Crush.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here.
Buy him or crush him. Sue him to death. Get rid of him. He's out.
He's costing us money.
Business as usual. So that's just the way it is in terms of large corporations in the way things are done, especially in America. So it isn't particular to the industry or smoking industry or anything like that.
Yep.
It's across the board is what I've come to learn. So when you know that, when you know that, well, you just have to kind of brace yourself for it. So if you become successful in whatever you do, and I hope you do, you can darn well bet that some person who's a lot bigger than you is going to try to probably crush you. It's just the way life is. Get used to it. There's nothing we can do about it other than survive the gauntlet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's, it's crazy. Do you think, like, while we're on the topic, do you think when federal legalization comes around, whenever that is, will that potentially ramp up the corporatization, or do you think it'll break down some of those barriers and make it easier for the small people?
Dude, I wish that was the case. I wish. I can tell you from personal experience in Canada, I know exactly how this is going to go down. Of course, this is my own personal opinion. I'm probably wrong. Okay? Listen, large corps, first you'll have the people, the investors are the ones who are going to lose the most.
Yep.
All these guys are going to jump in. I can make money.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
Oh, dude, they're going to come in there. They're going to pump money into such bullshit. You're going to have all the same pump and dump dudes that were like doing it on some other industry before this. They moved to the next one. They're coming into. I've got this great idea for ashtrays. When you put your in it, it releases cannabis. Whatever the fuck it's going to be. I've got this celebrity. I got that celebrity. I'm going to put this guy on the bag. I'm going to put this guy in the bag. Whatever it is, there's going to be a whole bunch of that bullshit. And look, we had $100 million in revenue. What that actually is, when you look at it, that cost them, let's say, $200 million to sell $100 million worth of shit.
Yep.
So they're losing money like crazy, but they'll just show you their revenue number to try to get you to invest.
We made this much.
Right, we sold $100 million. In the beginning, it was people used to make fun of Amazon for this. They were selling 5 quarters for $1. Meaning they were losing money on purpose.
It's a great deal.
It's a great deal. So of course everyone's jumping in.
Yeah.
And their mentality was, yes, everyone's going to jump in, and then we're going to make it where we're selling you 3 quarters for $1, but not until we've got you all in, which worked for them because they had managed to have many, many billions of investors.
Yeah, clearly it played out right.
And now they're profitable. That doesn't work in the space. Instead, Joe Schmo investor is going to put in $100,000, $50,000, $10,000 into, I'll make up a name, I don't know, where Santa Monica Cannabis Company.
Okay.
Oh, it's this great idea I have. We're going to do it. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. All this special. It's so great. All these people are going to pump in there. Let's say they raised a total of $10 million. Of that $10 million, they're going to pay themselves a salary of $1 million, of course, and a bonus of $1 million.
Yep.
And their friend gets $1 million, and that person gets $1 million, and so do they, and that, and that, and that. Oh, we need the special corporate headquarters, and I need to spend money on all these things. And so in the end, I'm taking all your money and I'm giving it to myself. And then Santa Monica is going to go under.
Yep.
In Canada, we watched this over and over and over again. People invested heavily in these larger companies, and most of them, I think, are not around anymore. And some of them were freaking huge.
The investors come in like vampires.
But the investors mean well, but they lose. The investors are the ones who lose the most. The people running those companies, they don't actually lose because they're paying themselves a salary anyway. It's the investors that get ripped off. The American investor will lose when federal legalization happens. Trust me.
Yep.
I could be wrong, of course, but I have very strong feelings on this based on what I saw in Canada, which was as legalization happened, everyone they all came running to my wife with the idea of, huge corporate grocery chains. We're going to convert to selling more products. We want your papers because we see the market as this. Some other giant chain, same thing to her. We see the market as this. We want to. And every one of them we're all going for the same consumer. So you have 5 large corps all thinking they're all going to get that same consumer. Well, 4 of them have to lose. Such is life, and 4 of them lost. So they all invested. They went in heavily. And they pretty much, it was a bloodbath. They lost. Large, when it comes here, it will repeat that same thing. It'll be a situation where in the beginning, a lot of people will invest, stocks will go up. Suddenly, every one of those companies will be losing money. Stocks will go down. You and I, as common investors, are all going to lose. There are people who are going to throw money at really stupid ideas, lots of money at really dumb ideas. I have this great thing. It's eye drops. Yeah. Whatever it is, it's going to have money thrown at it, and it's probably not going to work. When the dust settles, what will be left is, sadly, a few large corporate megacorps, MSOs. A few of those guys will stick around, and they'll
I don't want those.
and when because of the way things are going to collapse, those huge MSOs are going to pick up the smaller guys that got where the regular investor built them up, and now the thing fell down and crushed. It's going to pick them up for pennies on the dollar, and then allow themselves to get even bigger. So when the dust settles, usually in America, I believe, we're going to have 3 huge MSOs running the entire show, and then they will start doing the American way that I've watched happen before. I've watched it in tobacco and other things. Well, now, whichever one is the biggest, will now try to have laws passed to kind of block the other 2 out of some market.
Yes.
And this and that. Oh, no, we need a patent to this. We need a patent to that. I've watched this in tobacco for years because I started off heavily in tobacco. I know that stuff. And I watched what these guys were doing to each other, and it was, in my humble opinion, it was evil.
Seems like it.
Yeah, they were passed laws and lobbied to have laws passed to try to ban their competitor's product instead of doing what you would do and I would do, which is I'm going to make a better product.
Yeah, just win through quality.
Your quality instead of, no, I'm making your stuff illegal.
The good thing's going to sell itself.
Exactly, it will. The consumer only wins if we compete fairly.
And it's interesting you bring that up because on the state level with laws, I mean, you see that a lot. You see there's a lot of lobbying from a lot of different sides of the industry.
Do you see Florida?
Yeah.
What kind of fucking bullshit was that? Holy fuck.
Crazy right now. Amendment 3 got shot down. I mean, it's a bloodbath in Florida.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of players in the Florida market, these huge MSOs that have put in tens of millions of dollars
100
each.
and something, according to the thing I saw on social media, so God only knows, they put in 100 and something million dollars to try to get that law passed because they said it would make them billions. And the law was restrictive of their competitors one way or another.
Yes.
Basically, a law saying we're the only legal company in Florida. Honestly, fuck that. It should be the case that the best company wins, man.
100%.
That's what America was built on.
That's the ideal scenario, but it's becoming more and more apparent that that's not going to be the case in most places.
And that's not going to be the case here either. You're going to have 3 huge MSOs. They're going to be passing every which law they can. Between fighting with each other and trying to keep anyone else from growing up, you cannot have your large company. I'm sorry. I'm going to crush you before you have a chance to come up. I will crush you. Yeah, that's the way it's going to be. I wish it wasn't. I wish it was going to be more free, but I don't see that as a possibility.
Yeah.
I wish it was, dude.
So maybe it's almost better that federal legalization hasn't come by yet because there is still some of those smaller players that are able to stay afloat.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know. I don't know for sure. Of course, none of us do.
it's tough.
I don't want to. I want legalization because I want people to be free. I want the plant to be free, but I don't want these three large megacorps to take over our lives and eventually Pfizer saying, "Oh, Goblin, do you want? Here is your prescribed pill. It has this much of this. Here you go. Here you go. It's with synthetic. There you go, buddy. That's the only one that's legal now." Ha ha ha. Ha. We just had some laws passed. So that's the only one. Oh, you know, before it was illegal to grow, now it's super illegal to grow. Now you grow your own. Oh my God! Now you're violating FDA laws. Oh, you're growing a drug without a license. Like it'll get.
Yeah, and these MSOs here currently are almost going state to state and just gaining power.
Yeah.
Every state that legalizes, they're like, okay, we're gonna set ourselves up here. They make a bunch of money. They're just getting better poised for federal legalization. So they have the money to lobby for whatever they want at that level, you know, because nobody playing and winning on a 1 or 2 state level is really able to seriously lobby for federal laws. But somebody winning at some of these MSOs levels, 10, 20 states, you know, they're killing it. They got the money for that.
They do.
100%.
I just wonder if the audience understands. Like they probably think we're only talking about in people that are in the cannabis space. Like actually, but it actually impacts every single cannabis consumer.
Everyone that smokes, yeah.
The new laws will likely be more restrictive than the old laws. It'll likely result in more jail time, heavier sentences once these three large corps start passing crazy laws and the FDA takes over. Now you've got laws like you're violating, you're growing a without a license. You're just dispensing it without a license. Oh no, you mailed it. Oh, now you mailed it without a license. We got you for 40 years, man, for over one. It's going to become like that if we are not careful. The more we can stand up to that kind of stuff, the more that we actually see the bigger picture and are not hoodwinked by them, the greater chance we have of actual freedom. My belief of actual freedom is it's a plant, bro. It's been here longer than us.
It's natural.
It was put here by nature for a reason. It's this beautiful seed growing plant. That means it wants you to eat it, including its seed, and then you poop it out, and your poop fertilizes the seed, and then more plants grow. We are symbiotic with that plant. It's part of us. It's part of our humanity. Jack Harrow told me a whole story of how I don't know if any of this is true. Don't freaking go there. That the spread of early mankind followed the spread of hemp down from northern Africa up into Europe. When we were hunter-gatherers, that's what we were gathering and eating. And he based on the nutritional profile of the plant, which is exactly matches what we need. It has the exact right ratio of omega 3, 6, and 9, and protein and fiber and all this stuff. And yet, and so it looks so like such the perfect food for us that you would think that like some alien came down and gave us the perfect food. Here it is, hemp. But it isn't. It's because we evolved consuming it. So I believe that our connection with cannabis is part of our humanity. It's part of who we are as in this life. We wouldn't exist if it wasn't for that plant. And now we're going to ban it and regulate it and turn it into a Pfizer pill? No.
I don't want that.
I don't want that either.
Want that.
It's our food source. It's our fuel source. It has so many, it can do so much for us, and we should allow it to completely. I don't believe there should be any restrictions on it whatsoever. Of course, there needs to be some so that, little kids can't get a hold of it, sure. But kids can go out and pick dangerous flowers from the side of the street at this point.
Oh, yeah. You can go find a mushroom on the street right now. They'll kill you.
You can find angel's trumpet. I see them all over my neighborhood. Yeah, and it'll kill you. And the kids walk right by it. I'm like, it's... this plant won't kill you, So I really want the plant to be as free can be for you and for me.
That's the dream.
Belief. Yeah,
that's the dream, man. And it's really scary. I mean, in an ideal world for an MSO, what these corporations want. They don't want us to be allowed to home grow. They don't want us to be allowed to ship this to each other. They don't want us to be allowed to sell our homie an eighth, like, hey man, I just grew this fire. Here's an eighth for $10, or whatever. Like that would be illegal in an ideal world for these MSOs. And it's like, dude.
It's illegal because it takes money out of their pockets, money that they do not deserve.
Yeah. I remember, for me, I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago, and when legalization was first happening around the country, I remember, I believe it was Colorado and like Washington that went first, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I remember me and all my friends were like, dude, it might happen here one day. And we're talking about it. And we're like, bro, imagine the whole garage full of plants. Like, we're growing our own. I don't even know how to grow yet. I'll probably figure it out then, And we were all just thinking it was going to be this incredible thing where everyone's growing and smoking weed. And like, I don't think anyone could have imagined it would have turned into this.
Yeah.
You know, or at least any of my friends back then. Like, it's turned into this. It's just mimicking alcohol and tobacco,
which is what they want.
God, oh, that upsets